All right, cool. So today's video, I want to wrap everything from the top down. I want to do everything from the beginning when it comes to top down analysis, knowing where we are. What are we buying or are we selling at a higher low, lower high? Do we have a shift to structure and then entry signal, right? And I'm just gonna do it with let's see, should I do it with a pair that had a trade, or should we do it with a pair that can potentially have a trade? Or let's do it with a pair that has already had the trade and we saw it play out perfectly. Sound fair enough? That sound good? So you get the full rundown, because this trade right here is exactly what I explained in the strategy. And if you guys notice what I explained in the strategy, we at least have one pair every single week move how we want it with the strategy. Notice what I said there. At least one pair out of all of these pairs move with the strategy once a week. Yes, we can predict that gold was gonna have this pullback to this area of interest. That's not part of the strategy. That's just us wanting the trade to go here. And then we also predicted that if price doesn't break and retest under here, that price was gonna have the push up, right? That's not part of the strategy. What I mean is a trade like, let's say AUD CAD from the strategy has the actual move. Then we have Euro JPY. The strategy has the actual move. Euro GBP, the strategy, it has the actual move. You guys are seeing what I mean by that example, right? At least once a week, we have one pair that moves with the strategy. All you simply have to do is do the proper top-down analysis on every single one of these pairs and find everything we're about to go into, right? You guys are with me? Type 1 if everything looks clear. If you guys have any questions, so we can get it now. All right. Perfect. Everybody's putting 1. No questions. We're all good. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So let's do Euro JPY, because this is obviously the one that we did together. We saw it play out, so on and so forth, right? So let's delete everything. What I mean by everything, I mean this. I find myself doing everything, but I see everyone in the chat taking trades. I feel like if I'm doing something wrong. So like the same way how you can apply this strategy, you can apply it to the lower time frames. So that's kind of what maybe the guys are doing. Like people are gonna trade no matter what. It just goes back to the risk tolerance, and that's exactly what I'm gonna basically do today. And then there's more people that are more aggressive and people that are less aggressive. I personally, myself, I feel like I am the least aggressive trader ever, because like I don't feel the need to be involved. Like I don't have to trade, right? Like I only trade if it makes sense. So Euro JPY. So first things first, delete all of that. Gone. Let's do it again. Confluences to go long. First things first. Weekly. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Obviously, let's pretend like this bullish candle is in here. So are we bullish or are we bearish on the weekly? Okay. Yep. Again, we're gonna wrap everything up and do it one go right now, so you guys see how simple it is. If anything, we can time it, right? Let's say we started at 6:10. You guys see how fast it is. We can do it in 2-3 minutes, right? I mean, it's gonna take a little bit longer simply because I'm gonna draw everything out so everybody understands. So we take it step by step. There's no cutting corners. So this would be the higher low. This would be the higher high. The moment we body closed above here, now this turns the higher high, and then the last structure point turns to the higher low, whether we decide it's going to be this one or be this one, doesn't matter. The weekly is bullish. You guys are with me on that? Simple, easy. Then we go down to the daily. Daily time frame, we do the same exact thing. As you can see, the daily was creating higher low, and then we have a higher high, body stick candle closed above, making this the higher high, then this the higher low, and then the body closed under. Exactly what I say. At the moment we body close under, this now goes bearish. What a coincidence. Like, you guys are seeing how it's not a coincidence that the moment we close under this line, price has a minor retracement and then drops. It's not a coincidence. It's because the market structure is now bearish. You guys are seeing the beauty of that, right? Like, there's no EMA, it's literally just market structure telling you, right? So now we know that this is the low, and then this eventually became the lower high, and then this became the lower low. So we understand the daily. So the weekly is bullish, daily bullish. Now we go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is at the moment bearish. As you can see, this is the lower high, and then this is the lower low. You guys are seeing that? Very simple, clean, right? Like, there's no need to go on 25 explanations on why. It's very straight to the point. That's how it's supposed to be. 4 hour is bearish. So after here, we have a mandatory reset to the higher time frame as the weekly. Yeah, good yeah. The daily is bearish. Daily is bearish. So then here we have a mandatory reset to the weekly time frame. We need to understand what is the weekly time frame doing. So as you can tell, we are creating a weekly higher low, higher high, higher low. As you can tell in the weekly time frame, we are not at this point right here. We are not at this point right here. We are at this point right here where we can have the next push to the upside. So even though we're not buying at a weekly area of interest because there's nothing clean we could identify, we're at 3 because 1 is at the top, 2 is on the way. So let's just show this on the chart really fast. 1 is here, meaning we're at a higher high on the weekly. But let's put here 1. 2 is we are on our way to our area of interest. So we are nowhere near what we're looking to buy yet. So this is what would be 2. And then 3 would be once we are at our area of interest, that it is resistance now used as support, or it is at a point where it can create a potential higher low. We all understand that. We understand the difference between 1, 2, and 3. Type 1 if it makes sense. Okay, perfect. Okay, so just again, just want to recap everything just so we're moving forward. Everything we're going over is it's already like we're building a house. It's already a concrete, it's already placed, set in stone, and we move on to the next block, right? So we understand weekly we are at 3, meaning we're at a point where we can create a higher high. Simple. Now after we identify that, we go back down to the daily, same thing. Where are we? As you can tell, we are at a area of interest. Simple. This is where we come here, same exact thing with 3. 4 doesn't matter because remember, any time frame from 4 down is simply just 4 entries. So I'm gonna put this here. Side note, we only buy at weekly or daily area of interest. Anything from the 4 hour down for entries. It's really that simple. You guys get this little side note, right? We're only by the weekly or daily area of interest. Anything from the 4 hour down is just 4 entries. So now that we understand where we are in the daily and we are here, we need to buy at a higher low. So after we understand that we are rejecting a daily area of interest, we're rejecting a weekly structure point. So we'll go ahead and type that up. What are we doing on the weekly? So after we identify everything, we come right back to the weekly. Weekly is retesting previous structure point. That's all we have on the weekly. There's nothing else we can type up. We are not rejecting. So let's do this. Let's do this. So it's even simpler. Watch. This is a side note. So we'll do another side note. So this is side notes. Side note numbers 1 through 4. I mean 2 through 4. 2 through 5. Right? So if you are not rejecting a structure point, watch, I'm gonna make this so easy. Structure points, EMA, area of interest, or that's it. These are the only 4 things we can identify to type in for number 2. We are either rejecting a structure point, we're rejecting the EMA, we're rejecting an area of interest, a round psychological level, or we have a weekly rejection candle. You guys are seeing how now your mind can't go and then create a confluence to type here. Like for number 2, you only have to select one of these 4. Does that make sense? I feel like this is super gangster. I should have done this shit like forever ago. But like, you get me, like I learn as I go, because this is good. This is literally like if you're gonna go to a quiz right now and it says select an answer, you just select one and then obviously read the question, which one makes the most sense, you just click it. It's not like the one, oh, type an answer. There you can go crazy and you can completely like get that shit wrong. So when you reset back to the weekly time frame to see where we are, what are we doing, you only have to type one of these 5 right here. You're either rejecting a structure point, you're rejecting an EMA, you're rejecting an area of interest, a round psychological level, or you have a weekly rejection candlestick. Very clear, simple. Type one if that makes sense. This is fire. Okay, simple. All right, so for here, this is all we have. All we have is a weekly rejection from the structure point. You want me to repeat? Okay, so after we analyze that we are a weekly time frame is bullish, daily time frame is bearish, 4-hour time frame is bearish, you need to mandatory reset on the weekly time frame, come back to the higher time frame and start typing up your confluences. What's next? What comes after this? What are we doing on the weekly? Are we rejecting our support level? Like what the hell are we doing? For example, let's say if we were to type it up here, we have a high, this right here, we can type up weekly bullish rejection candlestick, because as you can see right here, this is our only option of what we can fill in. This is our trading plan. We're just filling it in with what's right here. Does that make it more clear, Elijah? Yes? Okay, perfect. But they are not the same percentages? Correct, Jen. Correct. And I can go as far as doing that right now. But what if we are bullish and what if we are bullish in the daily and the 4-hour, but bearish in the weekly? That's fine. That's what you identify these for. We can go on some examples on that now. So this is what we have for 2, right? There's nothing else you can type up on 2. All right, cool. You simply now go to the daily. I mean, there's nothing else you can type up on the weekly. You can't type up, because look, it's very simple. After you selected this one, can you select